The Philadelphia Eagles are sitting on a powder keg of championship expectations, and the latest projections suggest they aren't just a playoff contender. They are arguably the most lethal force in the entire NFL. But beneath the surface of this high-octane roster lies a reality that could either propel them to a Super Bowl trophy or lead to a total, catastrophic collapse. Everything has changed, and if you think you know what this team looks like, you're dead wrong. Before we dive into the massive revelations surrounding this roster, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. The narrative surrounding this team has shifted. We aren't just talking about a group of players. We're talking about a unit that is currently ranked as the second-best roster in the entire league. Only the Los Angeles Rams stand in their way, but the internal pressure within the Eagles organization is reaching a fever pitch. With training camp just days away, the blueprint for the 2026 season has been leaked, and it reveals some shocking truths about who is really running the show and who might be on the chopping block. But what exactly is the secret weapon that could change the fate of this franchise, and why are experts whispering about a potential disaster at the most crucial position on the field? Stick around, because the answer might just shock you. The quarterback conundrum Jalen Hurts enters 2026 under a microscope. The weight of an entire city is resting on his shoulders. Historically, when Hurts is backed into a corner, he delivers. He thrives on adversity, and he clearly has a point to prove this season. With a new offensive scheme being installed by Sean Manning, the expectations are sky high. If the chemistry clicks, this offense will be unstoppable. If it doesn't, we could be looking at a wasted year. The real question isn't just about the quarterback. It's about the philosophy of the attack. Can they rediscover that punishing ground game that defined their dominance in 2024? Saquon Barkley isn't expected to break every record in the book, but the health and synergy of the offensive line will be the ultimate barometer for this team's success. The pass game only works when the trenches are winning, and if the offensive line falters, the entire structure of this team falls apart. But there's a massive shift happening at wide receiver that almost nobody is talking about, and it could redefine how we view this team's aerial threat. The wide receiver shakeup, we are witnessing a complete overhaul of the receiving core. With a new look at wide receiver one and a high-profile rookie already making waves as the projected starter in the slot, the dynamics have flipped. Some analysts are obsessed with the big-name veteran acquisitions, but there's an underrated name buried on this depth chart who has been quietly outworking everyone. Is this newcomer the missing link, or is he just a flash in the pan? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think is going to be the most surprising breakout player for this team? The battle for the secondary tight end spot is another story entirely. As we move closer to the season, the competition for those crucial snaps is heating up. We know the star power at tight end won, but the real mystery lies in whether the team will pivot to more two tight end sets to overwhelm opposing defenses. The answer to that question will reveal how much faith the coaches really have in their new tactical setup. The lifeblood, the offensive line, this team lives or dies by the big men up front. When the offensive line is elite, the Eagles are a juggernaut. When they struggle, the entire stadium feels the tension. The return of Jordan Mailata to his peak form is non-negotiable. Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens must stay healthy, and Tyler Steen is at a career-defining crossroads. If he delivers another stellar performance, he is looking at a massive payday in free agency, but probably not in Philadelphia. Lane Johnson remains the anchor, an ageless wonder who continues to defy the odds at right tackle. Statistically, this duo of Mailata and Johnson is the envy of the league. They're the bookends that keep the dream alive. However, the reliance on an aging unit is a dangerous game. One injury, one slip-up, and the protection and the season could unravel. But wait until you hear which veteran player is being hailed as the ultimate X factor despite being listed as a non-starter. This is the wild card that could blow the doors off the competition. The X factor, a secret weapon while the starters get the headlines. The coaching staff is buzzing about an explosive speed threat who is listed as a non-starter but is poised to play a massive role. This player's ability to stretch the field vertically is exactly what this new offense needs. Last season, he showcased his ability to find the end zone, and now he's in a scheme designed to maximize his speed. He's the classic high-ceiling, low-floor gamble, and if he hits, the league is in trouble. The defensive fortress transitioning to the defense. The Eagles are embracing a 3-4 front that is built on raw power. The defensive tackle rotation is, frankly, the best in the NFL. You have 3 starters who could be number 1 options on almost any other roster in the league. That kind of depth allows for a relentless pass rush that keeps quarterbacks up at night. The trade for Jonathan Greenwood has been a masterclass in roster building. By securing him, the front office has brought in a more consistent, less injury-prone disruptor who fits the scheme perfectly. Alongside the existing edge-rushing rotation, we're looking at a potential double-digit sack season for the lead dog of this defense. But the linebacker room remains the most intriguing mystery of the summer. The lateral quickness, the coverage skills, and the ability to blitz are all being evaluated under a magnifying glass. We have seen flashes of brilliance, but consistency is the elusive piece of the puzzle. The young talent has the upside, but the medical reports on their health will be the determining factor in how deep this defensive unit can truly go. The secondary. A gamble of elite proportions, the secondary is a bold experiment. With a starting trio at corner that boasts all-pro potential, the expectations are through the roof. We're talking about length, speed, and raw instinct. One specific corner is already being touted as a potential all-pro. Standing at 6 feet 4 inches with elite speed, he is the prototype for a modern shutdown defender. Yet, this isn't without its risks. Temperament, penalties, and maturity. These are the invisible barriers that keep a talented player from becoming a legendary one. If he can harness his emotions and keep his head in the game, he's going to be the most feared defender on the field. If he can't, he's a liability that will haunt the coaching staff. The safety position, however, is a different story. The development of the young secondary players is the final piece of this championship puzzle. Is the current veteran group enough? Or will the front office be forced to make a desperate mid-season move to shore up the back end? The final verdict, the talent, is undeniable. The ceiling is the Super Bowl. But this is the NFL, and the difference between a championship and a rebuild is thinner than a razor's edge. This team is loaded with veterans hungry for a ring and young stars ready to prove they belong among the elite. As we look toward the 2026 season, one thing is certain. The Philadelphia Eagles are not interested in just competing. They are hunting. They are in a contract year for several key players, and the pressure to deliver is suffocating. So, how many games will they win? Are they the kings of the NFC, or are they walking into a trap of their own making? The drama is just beginning, and the story of this season is going to be written in blood, sweat, and glory. The countdown to the opener has officially begun. The pads will pop, the lights will shine, and we will finally see if this team is built for greatness or destined for heartbreak. One thing is for sure, you won't want to look away for a single second. The journey is just getting started, and the stakes have never been higher.